Hey friends, um, it's been one of those days, weeks, months. It is March I know it's let's see, this coming up weekend is going to be Resurrection Sunday slash Easter, depending on what you want to call it. And that makes me think of some things that I want to talk to you about. Plus, it's the final weeks of the bodybuild.com challenge and the Labrada Lean Body challenge. I already submitted my first form challenge stuff, and I don't think that I won because they didn't contact me. And that's okay. My life has been transformed, and God's power can transform anybody's life if you let Him. And not just the Easter weekend coming up making me think of things, but also with all this crazy stuff all over the internet, news. I just get so sick of it. The bullying stuff, the gun stuff, all this stuff people talking about. And it's just a mess, the whole thing. And it makes me think over my life, how God has transformed my life. I am no longer the person I was. And when you have confidence in God, it's going to make a big difference in how you feel about yourself, and how other people see you is not going to affect you as much, And I would love to share my story with everyone, but sometimes it takes longer than 5, 10, 20 minutes. And I've shared it some yeah, I did. I shared some on previous videos, like the time about, I did tell you that I was homeless at one time, and stuff like that. So I'm just going to share just a little bit my thoughts on all of and how God can transform you and how He's transformed my life. And this maybe will encourage some of you and give you hope. Because I remember growing up in a very abusive home. It was very difficult. I was very miserable. Yes, there was bullying at school, but it was nothing compared to what went on at home. I went to school sick. It didn't matter. I would have rather faced what I had to deal with at school than what I had to face when I got home from school. So if you are a parent, think about how you're talking to your kids. Okay, first I want to address you parents, then I'll address the or anyone that is getting bullied, because you can be bullied by coworkers or other people. As an adult, you get bullied by your own family members, by your kids even. A lot of parents are being bullied by their own kids. So parents, do keep in mind the words and how you show your care for your kids. If your kids have confidence and hope in your love, it's not going to be as painful, because you're their first influencers. You're their source of hope sometimes. So if they're getting bullied at school, but you're not calling them names, trust me, some kids' words hurt very badly and worse than any physical discipline you can ever imagine. It's like you need to give them words of affirmation. Do not call them names. You may think it's just picking, but it may not to them. It cuts them deep. Myself wasn't really ever called by my name. I was always called a bad word. And that can hurt. It can really hurt when you're called something and you're told that you're not going to amount to anything. Any word, to me, a cuss word is any word that can hurt someone or put them down. It doesn't have to be, what some people consider cuss words. Calling a kid a brat is very negative. Don't ever call your kids that. Don't call them losers. Don't call them idiots, because them are all cuss words in my book. Anything or stupid. Change your words towards your children. Change your words toward them, and that will give them hope. They know they're not going to be hurt at home. A home needs to be a place of refuge, a place of hope and love and security. And that way, when they are facing tough times at school, they know they can come home and it will be okay. Another thing that parents, I'm myself included, make sure you have time for your kids. Most of the time, kids, their love language is time, quality time. That's not in front of a TV or on a phone or busy. That's sitting down and just giving them your undivided attention, even if it's for 5 minutes. Say, honey, I've only got 5 minutes, but I really want us to I want to hear what you have to say about your day at school. And if they say nothing, you're going to have to kind of draw that out with some open-ended questions. Say, well, who's your favorite teacher? Tell me about your favorite class at school. Or if you could have a dream vacation, or where would you go? What would you do? And that way they start thinking there is something positive about my day. So if they're facing bullying at school, try to find out what is their favorite aspect of school. Or what would be the ideal place to live? If you could go anywhere and money wasn't an object, where would you go? Ask them questions like that. Another thing that could encourage and show that you care about your kids is gifts. But gifts generally aren't their core need. For me, on a budget, my kids, I could buy something at Dollar Tree for $1, and that's good. They're happy with it. Or acts of service that would be maybe making them their favorite breakfast every weekend. They look forward to that. Or their favorite dinner when they got home. Anything that will give them something to look forward to when they come home can make a big impact on their lives. Physical touch doesn't have to be discipline. Pat them on the back, hold their hand, even if you can't give your kids a hug, which to me is probably the best thing you could do, is give them a hug. And if you're not the hugging kind of parent, touch them in a positive way with not, something painful, but, put your hand on their shoulder, hold their hand, because what you consider love may not be what they consider love. And so and you can look up yourself videos on the 5 love languages towards your kids, and you can find out more. That will help them with their struggles at school and anywhere else in the world. It would help you if people showed their undivided attention or love towards you. You feel better. You feel encouraged. Do that regularly with your kids, and then you can help counteract some of the depressing activities and things that go on in your kids' lives. So yeah, that's about that, because I know I was called all kinds of names as kids, and like I said, what hurt the worst was a family rejecting me. There's years I had no friends whatsoever. I remember when I was 14, and it was just a traumatic birthday for me, very traumatic, in my opinion. For me, it was traumatic. Outsiders may have not viewed it that way, but for me, it was a horrible birthday. Most of my birthdays were not pleasant. And I remember it was 8th grade. If I had a friend, I didn't have any friends. This one girl, I think she just felt sorry for me. But she would always tell me things would get better. Things will get better. And I would always say, when? I never thought things would get better. I only desired if I could just have killed myself everybody would be happy. That's all I ever thought about as a teenager. If I just died, then my family would be happy. They would celebrate because I wasn't good enough for them. And I still don't feel good enough for them, but I choose not to let that get me down. I have friends that care about me more than the family I grew up with. And that's okay because I need friends. Friends is what I need. I don't know how someone can live their life all alone without a single friend. My aunt just passed away and I went to her funeral. She didn't have a single friend. And she didn't, even her children didn't show up for her funeral. That's sad. That's truly sad. And it just hurts that people could go through their lives and never have anything or anyone to share their life with, or even family members that care about them. So show your care to your kids, and then it helps counteract some of the negativity that maybe they are having at school. And then you could be helping because, I hear about these stories about these shooters, these kids coming in, shooting people at school. And I'm like, what kind of life are they going through at home? What's going on at home? Are they getting the love and respect at home? Do they feel wanted at home? I mean, someone made them upset at school. But parents, are you showing that? I mean, if you have enough self-respect and love for yourself as God loves you, then what someone else says about you is not going to hurt as bad. It does hurt. Trust me. I've been there. I've been called every name in the book. And I've been put down and called crazy and a loser and everything you can imagine. I've been every type of abuse I think I've had done to me by family and other people, and if it weren't for God rescuing me and transforming my life, I would be living in misery. I choose not to be depressed. I choose not to take revenge out on those that hurt me. I choose to better myself. I choose to pour love into my kids and friends. I'm not perfect. By no means I'm not perfect. I've screwed up so much and I still screw up daily. But God has transformed me and my life into something that's far great. I could not imagine. I mean, if you would have told me 20 years ago I would be where I'm at today, I would have said you were nuts. There is no way. I would have never imagined it because it may take until you're 40 for your life to turn around for the better. But if you feel like drowning, and I saw this on Facebook, it was posted by a word for you today or something rather, and it was like a devotional thing. And if you feel like you're drowning, reach up, look up, because He's ready to rescue you if you are ready for His transforming power. And if you're a kid or someone that's feeling like they're being manipulated by family, friends, or others, remember, if a relationship is always tearing you down, it's not a relationship you should be in, no matter if it's family members. Relationships, positive relationships, build you up, never tear you down. They may give you a word of encouragement or some kind of positive criticism to help you grow better. And if you're walking in love, you can't ask for anything better. But if you have relationships and people around you that's constantly pulling you down, tearing you down, and making you feel like garbage, you need to find another relationship out there. There's others that will love you and care about you. I mean, yes, there's still days I feel like I'm alone, but all in all, no, I'm not, because I know a God that loves me. I have literally been alone. I have literally had nothing. If I would have died, there's several times in my life I was so isolated. If I would have died, if something would have happened to me, my family would have never found out. My family would have never, nobody would have been notified because they wouldn't have recognized, nobody would have known me. Because there's been times I've had no identification on me whatsoever. I just had just the clothes on my back. That's it. And I've been out in the middle of nowhere on the street in the middle of the night. And if somebody came by and murdered me, there would have been no way my family would have, it would have been done. Nobody would have, I would have been a no-name person. Nobody would have known. You know? So, you think you're all alone? Really? You really think you're all alone? You know, when I was in those situations, I called out to God. And He provided a way, not always perfect ways. Yes, I had to hitchhike at one time in the middle of nowhere with no identification on me or nothing, just the clothes on my back. God protected me during that time. He may use even negative people to get you to the next level, to the next place in your journey, because life is a journey. And we've got to look at it like that. Life is a journey, and each thing is a stepping stone. And you may be in a place surrounded by people that are more negative than positive, but they're getting you to the next place. If you look at them as just a mountain in your journey as you're traveling and hiking through life, because think about life as you're hiking on a trail and you got to step over downed logs. You're going to encounter snakes or something that's going to get in your way or try to slow you down. You get past them and you move on. And then you go to another place and you'll have peace in a nice, quiet place by a creek or something. And you recuperate. And then you move on again. And you will encounter challenges. So think about it that. You know, and those people that are pushing you and you're struggling with, they're growing you in your faith and your strength, because without challenges, you never grow. Think about that. Your muscles are never grown. You never gain a muscle unless it is challenged with like weightlifting. Your heart, your emotional well-being, and your faith never grows. You never get stronger physically, mentally, or emotionally if you're never challenged. And I think kids aren't prepared for the challenges sometimes in school and in life, because they're constantly, maybe they're catered to so extremely that they think everybody should worship them. So give them their positive love and everything, but don't shower them so much with things that they don't need. Kids mainly need your time and your love and attention. Things are just a side thing. I guess I'm done ranting about this stuff, but God's transforming my life every day. I'm learning more about life in general, about relationships. God has really grown me. If you're interested in hearing more about some of the things throughout my life, like or subscribe or whatever. Just like and comment, and let me know. But yeah, you just just fill your kids with positive love, not stuff, positive love, time and attention, and their mood will get better. What's going on at school is not going to be as challenging because they know they got you to lean on. You, as a parent, are a refuge. All right, well, I guess I better call this a wrap up because it's been almost 20 minutes, and I don't know if I'm going to upload this, but if I do, I do, but if I don't, I don't. I hope you got some information here that will help you increase your family bonding and the love in your life, and self-respect and self-love and God's love. So be blessed, and hopefully I'll touch base with you soon. Love you guys. Bye.